One evening, as her pastor husband laid there next to her sleeping, knocked out, she looked over at her bull and she said to him, with lust in her eyes, the following. I need you to want me, throw me on the bed, and make sure that you spread my legs. Show him who the real man is. Even let him give you head. Please, please fuck me. Kill for me. In the name of Jesus Christ, please, please fuck me. Give my husband head as he lies in the bed. Just fuck me, please. Kill for me.
Oh man, that was moving. That really was moving.
It's moving?
I found that very moving. Fuck me,
Kill for me.
doing it for Jesus.
In the name of Jesus Christ, yes.
And you know what is amazing, Hassan? This almost sounds like you and I are just starting a show and we wanted to be shocking to keep people's attention or perhaps to drive people away one way or the other.
Right.
But actually, we're here to cover an actual news story that took place the end of March in Oklahoma. And we're going to do this tonight like we're regular news people.
Right,
I'm gonna read it.
Sitting at our desk, we're gonna do our papers like this. Yes.
And we felt like we'd open with the song, so we give you like a tease. You know how like there's always like a tease at the beginning of a show.
Right.
You know, like on SVU.
Yeah, they give you a little thing.
Thing.
Fuck me, kill for me.
Right. So
in
here
the
we
name
go.
of Jesus Christ.
Here we go. Let me put my reading glasses on so that do I look like an anchor man?
Oh, yes.
I do look like an
anchor man. And now the news.
And now the news.
Okay.
So this is based on an article that was written by sex therapist Susan Block, writing for Counterpunch, internet online magazine.
Right.
And the other part of the story, some of the information was gathered from the local Fox News channel, also in Oklahoma. So here we go. Pastor David Evans, 50, his wife of 30 years, Christy Evans, and their lover, Cahill Demi Square, 28, engaged in what the mainstream media is calling a love triangle. But let me tell you something. It was a lot more than that. It was a case of church-based cuckolding gone horribly wrong.
Ooh.
It appears to be a stereotypical interracial cuckold arrangement, where the bull or other lover, in this case, a 28-year-old African-American man, has sex with the Caucasian hot wife, sometimes known as a cuckoldress, while the cuckold husband watches. Now, the two men sometimes have sex. We don't know in this particular story if they did or they didn't.
Yeah.
But this is quite typical, where the bull fucks the hot wife.
Right.
Often it is interracial. This is an interracial one. It doesn't have to be. There are bulls that are not always interracial, but this one is an interracial one.
Right. Yeah.
Where the husband watches while the wife gets fucked, in this case by a young black man.
Oh, okay.
Now, there are this is according to sex therapist Susan Block.
Right.
She says there are many types of conjunctions that go into this, possibilities. Sometimes it's straight domination.
Right, right.
Sometimes it's the wife just humiliating the husband.
Right.
Sometimes they do a game called penis size comparison.
It's like when you do like one product to another.
Right. You have one penis. And my guess is that in the penis size comparison part,
the pastor lost.
The pastor, being a white, overweight guy from Oklahoma, probably lost in that.
Yeah.
Sometimes the husband cross-dresses. And there's also, she mentioned, sometimes that the husband, it's not just his own humiliation, he actually enjoys seeing his wife have pleasure. So there could be a loving aspect of this. It's not just strictly kink. It can be loving, you know, you want to see.
Well, there's consensus, right?
Well, there's consent. I don't think consensus. Consent. There's consent. Everybody's in on it. Yeah. But sometimes you're doing it to humiliate the husband because some other guy is fucking the wife.
But he's okay with that, though.
He likes it. Okay. Believe me, he's the one that probably started the whole thing.
Okay.
But let me go further with the news story.
Okay.
Evangelical Christian pastor David Evans was known to preach a very strict form of Christianity. You must be 100% monogamous. And if you don't feel that way, he said, you must go to battle with the devil.
Whoa.
Then at night, the pastor turned kind of devilish himself. So, you know, she throws in a kind of a joke here at the end. She says, you know, maybe this trio is headed for hell on earth. Because the wife and the bull killed the husband here, so they may be going to jail. So she's saying, well, you know, they may be going to hell on earth. So basically, what happened was the hot wife, and by the way, we saw photos of her. I don't want to be judgmental.
Right.
She's not your classic. When they say hot wife, they don't mean that she's necessarily
Doesn't matter who you were. You
hot.
would describe
the wife is called a hot wife because she hung.
Matter.
You know. And you know, they're in big trouble. It's on the hot wife and the bull. The black.
The bull is in more trouble.
Well, probably in America, the hot wife will get off, and the bull will end up going to jail.
Well.
So how did this happen? How did this fetish go wild, Hassan?
Well,
before you do that, though, how was my new? Was I like? How did I read that?
I think you were compelling.
I was compelling. Yes, I thought that.
I think you were extremely compelling.
I shouldn't have snickered on the penis size comparison. That was unprofessional.
Well, because then you're putting in your point of view, and you just should do the news.
Like, right, I'm a newsman. I'm not a I'm not Sean Hannity or Rachel Maddow.
Where you're giving your point of view.
Right. Like, I'm not spreading conspiracy theories the way those two do.
60 Minutes they just did the news.
No, but this is not a 60... Well, this could be a 60 minutes.
Well, it's 30 minutes.
This is more like a newsman. I was trying to be like a guy on Oklahoma TV, like Fox News Oklahoma.
They just told the news.
By the way, maybe I'll send this as an audition tape. I'll watch it later and see.
Man.
No
just
chance?
Stay here.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
So
I don't want you in Oklahoma.
How do you think...
Well, let's look at how this went way off wrong. Let's just look at that. Now, we want to start out by saying we're not judging what this...
I'm totally...
No, I'm not judging what this couple chose to do.
I was the penis-sized judge. I stepped in, I measured everybody's dicks. I judged. I was the judge.
You were the judge. And, you know, whatever you and your partner decide to do, if there's an agreement in it, go for it. But we got to look at something. The husband wasn't in agreement to get killed.
Yes, that was where it wasn't
He
consensual.
just was in agreement to I'm going to watch my wife get fucked. Maybe I'll get me some black cock. I'll suck on it. He can fuck me in my ass. Maybe we'll kiss or hug.
Nothing big.
No, absolutely.
Nothing major.
Absolutely.
He just wanted
was not in agreement with kill me after we do this.
Right.
Okay, so there they went wrong. And all he wanted to do was watch the bull and
he might have wanted to watch wearing panties and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he didn't want to get killed.
No, he definitely, as far as we know, there was no written consent.
I don't think that he wanted to get killed.
I'm with you on that. He probably didn't want to get killed.
So, you know, we've got to really look at how this man, who is a pastor, preacher, he worked a lot in Mexico, and I think it was Africa. So
let me get to that. You see, because he's also a missionary.
Yes,
and he's not into missionary sex. This guy at all. This guy's
not.
You know, when you're wearing panties and watching guys fuck your wife, you've gone way past like straight ahead, squeezing the titties and drilling.
Well, for him, that is straight ahead.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make it for our audience to understand, Hassan. Not everybody has this kind
We don't know what our audience does.
No, we don't, but I just want to, so I want to set the scene here because this is a very popular form of sexuality. We've done a lot of investigating, and it's one of the most viewed things on like TubeStack and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of men who like to watch their wives get fucked. This is a common thing. When you used to go, like back in the 70s, I went to Plato's Retreat, like a swing club. There were lots of married couples. I wasn't married at the time, but I got in there with a date.
See how you cleared that up?
No, 70s. I didn't even know you, so I'm totally clean on this. Now, of course, I would never do something like that. And there were people that would enjoy watching partners get fucked. But this is different. This is a humiliation fetish. This is when, especially if it's a white couple bringing in a black man.
Absolutely.
This is happening down south. This is a guy who's going to Africa and going to Latin America trying to teach people, and he's teaching them people of color that they shouldn't have what do you call it? Like fuck around on their partners. So what do you call it? They should be monogamous. Yes. Meanwhile, as he's telling him this, he's picturing this guy drilling his wife.
Oh, he's up on the pulpit
as he's talking about Jesus,
and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to get home
I'm gonna
to
have
him.
a big dick,
Tonight we're gonna have lasagna and the bull.
Now,
yeah, baby."
I think what this comes down to, because that other guy Jerry Falwell Jr.,
he
was also he's a Christian evangelical. His pool boy was fucking his wife. Now, I don't think he was black, the pool boy. I think he was Latin and Hispanic.
Yeah.
So this seems to be something that a lot of white evangelical preachers are into, which shouldn't really surprise anyone because, let's face it, they're all also into Trump. I mean, I don't know if you can make this connection, but the white evangelical Christians, it's kind of like a stretch to call them Christians in a sense. They're basically white supremacists. That's the basic, I'm sure there are some exceptions.
They're hiding behind the word Christian.
Well, I'm sure there are some white evangelicals who truly believe in this. But
have you met them?
No. But I would say most are, it's a white supremacist religion and thrown in with, of course, the hatred of abortion. Although the second you're born, they don't care if that baby lives in the gutter.
No, they don't care.
But until you're out of the pussy, they care about you a lot. And so to do it with a black guy fucking your wife, there's also this racial thing because you could say that he was trying to make up for his own feelings of inadequacy by and also his own hate. He is a Christian. Maybe he felt some guilt that he was so racist, so he figured to make up for being racist and using the N-word, I'll let a guy fuck my wife. I mean, that is a thing that I could see as maybe a cleaning,
please.
like
No,
you don't see that.
No, I don't see that.
I had a feeling you weren't.
Even with my glasses on, I don't see that.
Okay.
No.
So what do you see?
Okay. I think that when you decide to do this, there are certain things you should not do in this situation. If you decide that you and a person are going to engage and bring in another party. Okay?
Just in general, not only cuckolding.
Just in general. Okay.
Because a lot of guys convince their wife to bring a woman in, and that ends up a disaster because the two women usually fall in love, and the guy doesn't get into it unless that turns him on. But he's usually thinking, I assume, I'll get a chance to bang two chicks.
Yeah, and also what can happen in that is that, let's say I bring in another dude, right, with you, and let's say you start going with the other dude, or the two dudes go together. You don't know.
Right. When you bring a third person, it's like friends.
Yeah.
You ever notice that, Hassan?
Yeah.
When two people go out, you have a great time. If you bring a third friend in,
I don't know if I want to do that.
It's not always good. Sometimes it's better to go to 4. It's the 3.
It's 2, 1,
the triangle,
2, or 4.
Right.
Yeah. I know 3 is a spiritual number, but
not for humping. Maybe it's not a humping number.
For praying, yes.
Praying.
For humping, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay,
what are
so
your
there's
rules?
a list of things you should not do in this situation. Yes. I love rules. I love lists. Yes. First one is don't kill anybody. Okay?
Unless what if they're into it? What if somebody
Then you got to deal with the fact that, okay, let's say you want me to kill you, right? Right when you're getting ready to come, you want me to just fucking stab you.
Like those guys that do
right,
what are that?
The strangling.
Right.
Now you're supposed to have like a safe word
Right.
to know, but let's say you don't get that shit out in time. You go to sneeze instead of saying the word, or you forget. At our age, we'd have to have post-its like, "What's the safe word?" I don't fucking know.
Senior citizens, if you're doing S&M, write your safe word out.
And I mispronounce words, so he might not even know what the safe word. I might even not even be able to pronounce the safe word.
Right.
So don't kill anybody, and particularly if you're doing this, don't videotape and put it on Facebook Live.
No, definitely no video.
Because if that couple divorces or they think about what they did, they're going to be really not Or let's say you did it one night.
Don't even videotape. Try not to videotape.
If you can't remember it, right, then stop smoking so much weed, or maybe you shouldn't do it.
Okay, and what's your next rule?
Okay, don't listen to a white woman who tells you to kill her fucking husband for her.
If you're a black guy.
If you're a black guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do not let a white woman, I don't care how much money she gives you, I don't care if she calls you Mandingo, I don't care if she calls you Muhammad Ali, when that motherfucker says, could you really just kill him for me? I mean, we could be together. Just fucking leave.
Well, according to this article in Counterpunch, she got on her hands and knees and begged him to kill her husband. So that was even part of her
so, let's say you're a black dude, right? And all of a sudden you got this white woman on her hands and knees begging you to kill this white motherfucker. And you're like going, oh, yeah, this shit make my dick. And you're not thinking, fast forward. Now, she's in some jail. I don't know where she is. I forgot. But he's in Cincinnati, okay?
No, he's not in Cincinnati. Yeah, he's in Oklahoma. Oh, they took him out.
Yeah. So where he's going, he's fucked.
I don't even know why they sent him to Cincinnati, but if you are claiming that, I am not.
Well, double check it, but I think
I am not making that claim. I'm a newsman. She's like the weather woman. Don't listen to her.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I don't know where your notes. You got Cincinnati on this. I don't see this anywhere. And why in Oklahoma would they send him to Cincinnati?
Send him to Cincinnati.
But I do want to make another point on this because this is very important for our younger listeners.
Yes.
If you're going to do some crazy kind of kinky shit, a lot of times things are in your mind like a fantasy. You might think to yourself, it would be nice. Let's say you've been married to a white Jewish man now for 34 years almost, right? Maybe in your fantasies you're remembering your past when you were dating some, let's say the guy before me, the doctor guy that you were with. This is her. She gave up a doctor for a failing comedian. I love this girl. This woman. Didn't mean girl in a negative racial shit going on here. I don't want Sometimes things are fantasies and you should keep them in fantasy. I'm not saying you have to do that, but think about it. Not everybody can handle this kind of wild kind of, it can get out of hand. Now, I don't know if these guys were doing drugs. I would imagine you need a lot of drugs for this.
Or it could be alcohol.
But this guy was a preacher. This is my point. Stop being such repressed, telling people that they shouldn't enjoy their sexuality.
Judgmental.
And having all kinds of rules when you're just a liar. It seems like every time there's like a guy gets caught in the bathroom. Like, remember that senator? He said he had a wide spread. That's why his hand went under the thing and he grabbed the guy's dick. He had a really wide spread. He's in a stall, but somehow his hand got under the
all
thing
the way
and his finger in the guy's ass.
Right.
Republican conservative, Larry Craig was his name. Larry Craig. I'm a newsman. I got that.
All right.
Every time there's some kind of really out to lunch, especially bathroom kind of sex with gay men, it's always a Republican or a preacher or sometimes even a rabbi can step in there. It's always some religious lunatic who is uptight, but they act out their sexuality and then they make other people nuts.
And now, see, we know people where they have a lifestyle where one is a slave, one is not, and there's an agreement in that.
It's a beautiful thing. But they're two people. When you start bringing in strangers, we don't know this bull.
Yeah.
Maybe this bull. I saw a picture of him too. I mean, he wasn't the best looking bull, but he might have had a huge a huge bull's
Yeah, but
cock.
by the time they got him in jail, who knows what the hell they did to him?
Yeah.
Who knows what the hell? Because they're gonna.
Oh, no,
she's gonna
get away with it. Karen's gonna get away with it.
She's gonna say
she's
she
gonna
was
say the
forced.
bull. She didn't tell the bull to do it.
No, she
it's
don't
Oklahoma.
know.
This black guy is gonna get
he's
fried.
Shot. He's fucked.
He's fucked.
Okay. He should have looked at it on porno and left it alone.
Sometimes it's better on porno. You got to remember that. That's
because you can just
that's
turn it off.
Now, two other men before we bring in our dirty truth teller, Joe Keys. Yes. He should have some interesting points on this.
Yes.
Two other men who are notoriously known for being into being humiliated like this. Paul Manafort, the former campaign manager for Donald Trump.
Right.
And, of course, Roger Stone. Now, Roger Stone, it's really funny because he calls every liberal a cuckold. Like you're not man.
And that's not a common word you would use.
A cuckold, I believe, there's a certain kind of bird where the female bird fucks other men.
Is that
Do you want to hear? You ask a question.
Okay, but I'll be right there, Joe, because you know he gets pissed when he has to
Let him wait. Let him wait a second. He's out there last week smoking weed. We got in trouble in the building.
I know.
So I forgot what I was going to say. So
you're talking about the bird, the cuckoo bird.
I think it's a female bird who fucks other birds in front of her male. Maybe I'm wrong about this.
Like Cincinnati.
So we'll look that up. So why don't you go let Joe in? And I found it amazing because this is a very, very. We actually found. I think this is like the third most commonly viewed fetish of a lot of men want to watch other men fuck their wife. Now, if you're a specialist and you're a white couple, you bring a black guy in. Now, I doubt very much if that's ever reversed. It probably is because there's nothing that's not in someone's fantasy land. Like a black married couple bringing a white guy in to fuck the wife. I don't think that's a very common one. It probably brings back a lot of bad memories for a lot of people. But maybe that gets someone's dick hard. You never know because bad memories often is what gets your dick really hard. So these are things that only on Epstein and Hassan's Dirty Truth Tellers will you hear this kind of. We feel this is a kind of educational thing. This woman Susan Block writing for Counterpunch, she's talking about cross-dressing. It's humiliation fantasies, like a guy wearing women's clothing. You could also be into, she says, a little bit of BDSM, bondage, discipline, I guess sadomasochism, where maybe they handcuff the partner or stick objects in the partner's butt. I think this is all possible, but the key thing is, think about if you really want to bring this into your life or you want to keep it as strictly as a fantasy. And you really need to know because like this pastor who's now dead, he's a dead guy and everybody's going to always remember him. His name, what was his name again? His name is Pastor David Evans from Oklahoma. That he's always going to be remembered as the guy who got killed by his bull. Come on in. And that
thanks a lot, man.
That's, it's not really how you want to be remembered unless that's some weird other fetish. Hey, Joe, how are you?
You don't know, man.
How are you, man?
Oh, man. I don't give too much away.
So I don't know if you heard the story about the black bull fucking the hot wife.
I heard that story, man.
In Oklahoma. They got a lot of weird shit. You know, we read about this. Most of this kind of activity goes on in places like Oklahoma, the Midwest, down south. It's kind of interesting where these religious lunatics are praising Jesus, voting for Trump. I never knew it. Like, evangelical Christians are the wildest, most perverted. They go for it. They think Trump is...
I also know a lot of pastors do a lot of shit, man.
Yeah. Catholics are usually into
when being a jazz musician, right, you be on tour, right, and sometimes you get these women. I remember this white woman was really turned on to me, right? So she said she had some weed. Now, somebody offered me a gift. I'm not going to say no. I'm not that kind of man.
Especially now it's legal in New York.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of man. And so she said, come up to my penthouse. She had a penthouse like after, the show. So, we get in the elevator, right? And we go to our penthouse, right? We smoked the weed, had a little RCA, you know. We listened to some jazz, you know. Shit is, you know, being good, right? And she told me she had a fetish. She want to fuck in the elevator. Like that gets her off. I said, let me tell you something, baby. I'll roll your ass over any rug in this apartment. I'll throw you up against the window. I'll take you in the shower. But I'm not getting in no elevator with no white woman fucking
See,
her,
that's
man.
the thing. You're smart, because this guy, this what was his
That
name?
shit, nah. Cause see, when she wake up from the high, cause you know we did a few things.
Khalil Demi Square.
Yeah.
Interesting name
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Demi. Interesting middle name.
You know, when she wake up and, you know,
She changes her mind.
Her mind, all of a sudden, Joe Keys drag me in the elevator.
Yeah. See, that's smart. That's smart. I'm definitely not fucking anyone in an elevator because I'm claustrophobic. I walk up 18 flights of steps not to take an elevator, so.
But you know, it's a thing.
I have a lot of mental problems, as people have been learning on the show.
This ain't therapy, man.
Okay.
See, you all right, man. Everybody got shit.
I don't like elevators.
Like, I got a thing, man. I can't come out the house without a hat on.
Yeah, I could see why.
I empty the garbage. I got my fucking hat on, man.
So what do you have for us today, Joe?
You're yelling for
Are
me.
you prepared?
Yeah, I'm always prepared. I'm act like I'm doing it now. I have. I'm a kind of person. I got the very diverse taste in music, right? And I lost somebody this week that I really liked. I like DMX. In fact, people used to say, "Is that your son?" Because y'all talk the same. But I don't speak like him. But you know, he found something in hip hop that helped him. But the thing that bothered me about this young brother's life was that when he was 14 years old, right? First of all, his mom left him in a shelter. Now it's very easy to judge that. I don't know what her situation was, but he was 14 years old. He had a mentor. Right? This dude was like 30 years old. And he gave him a joint. DMX didn't smoke nothing. And you know, when your mentor is doing something for you, giving you something, you feel like that pressure, like, well. And the joint was laced with crack.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was 14 when he smoked
14. So you just imagine now.
That wasn't cool, man, for that guy,
it wasn't
or
cool.
girl, whoever it was, his mentor.
No, it wasn't fucking cool.
That's really, you know, people used to do that a lot, like slip a little crack in the cigarette or the joint when they pass it to you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're smoking crack.
No, I don't fuck around with other people. Now, see, what was the dilemma in this is that this man also influenced him and helped him to find music. And he also gave him crack.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Now, that's just fucked up.
It was pretty sad. DMX was 50 years old, same age as the pastor. He was also 50. So at least DMX didn't die in panties while another guy was fucking his wife.
But I gotta tell you a story DMX was telling. He was sitting around, he's being interviewed, right? And I had just come through the studio that he was at. And he was talking, and somebody had asked him, man, who did you ever meet that influenced you? I know the first thing you'll think was it was Joe Keys. No, it wasn't me. It should have been.
I didn't think that for 1 second.
Oh, you didn't think that?
I definitely didn't think that.
Are you sure?
No, I didn't think that.
Because I would have thought.
Yeah, I thought you might have been this guy in this thing that
Get the
killed
fuck
the hot
out of
wife.
here.
The hot wife.
Ain't no woman telling me to kill shit. Get down. So he said it was Prince.
Prince.
Yeah.
Prince.
He said he was at a club, right? And this is how DMX talked, you know. We're at the club, you know, and he's sitting over there, like, the little motherfucker just sitting there, right? And just sitting there. And like, all of a sudden, like, the space just moved. Everybody just moved out. And me and Prince sitting there talking, right? So I'm thinking, shit, you know, I'm going to ask this motherfucker, you know, we do a song together, you know, because he's my heart, he's my dog. So then I asked Prince, could we do a song? And Prince, you know, when he called me over, he gave me the deep voice like this. You know, brother, come over. And Prince looked at him, and for an hour, he said to him, man, I would love to work with you. But do you own your own masters? Your own work? DMX told him no. He said, man, I can't do it. I can't be a slave to another company. I remember I saw him on interviews talking how that conversation changed his fucking life. And he realized that this was a man that really was a genius, but he had a lot of turmoil. A lot of turmoil, man. But this is to you, my man. Now, this might be a little controversial, what I'm going to say. But I heard a rumor that DMX took the vaccine before he died. Now, I don't know if this is a rumor, or I don't know if this is true. But y'all investigate it and get
Well,
back
I mean, you know, that's what we're dealing with.
I don't know.
We don't know nothing. That's the whole problem. Everybody's lying. Everybody's got ulterior motives. That's the word.
Yeah.
So you don't know whether DMX took the vaccine. I think it was Marvin Hagler. They said he took the vaccine.
And then cut that shit
Henry
out.
Aaron. They said he took the vaccine. But then it kind of goes away because they want people to take the vaccine. So these are very challenging things. So, do you have anything else you want to give us before you go?
I want to send my condolences to the Queen of England.
Oh, yes.
Now, look, I know you in that big castle by yourself. You can't really talk to nobody. You can't talk to your son. He's with that Camilla, and she got his ass all ripped out.
They could be cuckolding. She could cuckold him. That's a
so
couple that don't be surprised.
whipped.
He could be cuckolded.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
I
she's
could definitely
cuckolding that
see
motherfucker.
Yeah, the
man.
Prince Charles.
Oh, yeah.
That guy seems so miserable being a prince, which is funny because everybody, we think that it's such a great job. He's so miserable.
But she helps him out.
Yeah.
So my number,
For the Queen? Are you hitting on the Queen right now?
634-5789.
Wow, man.
She needs somebody. Man.
She does. You know what? That would be a good move for her.
I could lie in bed with her and we could just talk, maybe touch a titty, and that's it, man.
You
that's
think her titties are up here? I think her titties are down there.
Wherever
She's like
they
100
are.
years old.
Up and down,
But I think
across.
because of what happened with her grandson, with the black wife, and then it didn't work out, if she brings a black guy in, because they want to expand their brand. They want to make the royal family seem more, what's the word? Diverse. Diversity. Because we're into diversity now. The key thing now is diversity. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as you have diversity, then, you know...
can do the same shit.
Yeah, you could do whatever the hell you want.
That's how they tricked us. They got everybody that looked different, but they got the same mindset. Check the mindset, okay?
It's like I read this. This is in my line, so I don't remember which comedian said it. No. But when not Obama, when Biden, like about a few weeks into his presidency, he bombed Syria.
Right.
Which is a sovereign country, and the United States is not at war with Syria, so it's kind of like...
So what, were we in a bad mood?
We're allowed to do it because we're democratic and we have good human rights, unlike any other country. So we can bomb the shit out of whoever we want because we're good people, and they're not. Like other countries, they can't do that. But we can. And this comedian said, well, that's the first time, because Biden has a very diverse cabinet. Someone's gay, transgender, women.
Got everything.
He's got basically everybody possible. He has a cuckold guy. One of his things is in the panties a cuckold.
He got an ice cream man.
So when we bombed Syria, which is, I think some people call that...
I thought that was funny when I said he had an ice cream man.
I thought it was funny, but I was going back to the material.
You laugh, man.
A war crime. It's like a war crime, but this is like the first time we committed a war crime that was a diverse cabinet.
Right.
Usually it's a bunch of white guys, although Condoleezza Rice Bush had a few black people, Colin Powell, they also committed war crimes. But it's good. This way, like now at least like a transgender person has committed...
Did Reagan have any blacks?
Colin Powell, wasn't he with Reagan too? I don't know. Nixon? I don't know if he was... Nixon didn't have any blacks.
Nixon, he wasn't even...
He was hardcore, man. That guy was hardcore. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. The great Joe Keys.
Queen, don't forget, call me.
Wow, man, you're making a move on the Queen.
Baby, I will give you royalty.
I don't think that guy has been giving her anything for... He's 90. He died at 99.
That dick hasn't...
He's dead at 99.
Since Soupy Sales was a kid, man.
Soupy Sales.
Yeah.
The legendary Joe Keys. Don't take forever, Joe.
Fuck you.
So, it's a big thing over in England, I understand, because they gave that guy, I forget his name, he's the Duke of Edinburgh. Is that it? Yeah, the Duke of Edinburgh. And he was married to the Queen for like many, 60 years. And they gave it on the BBC nonstop coverage, like we do here in the United States when there's like a hurricane, CNN, MSNBC. They'll stay on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to dig up every kind of, human interest story to try to jack up the ratings. But in England, the people really didn't want... The guy was 99. I mean, it's not... You feel sad. I don't really feel sad that he died because I heard he was kind of like a Nazi. But, he did die. He's 99. You don't want to badmouth a dead guy. Like, even badmouthing this guy Evans. So,
okay,
the British people, though, they weren't really into watching it 24/7.
I want to address something. Should we lie about a person, the character that they live, just because they're dead?
Well, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead. That's like an old kind of thought. But my feeling is,
Who said that, though?
I don't really know. I don't know who gets credit for that. I mean, I really don't know. You asking me a question, who made that? I don't really know. I think that there's a, you got to give some time. But what is that time?
Yeah, what is that time?
So you and I don't have that time.
I have no time.
No, we have no time.
No.
We go right for the...
I have no time.
So anyway, it's time for our weekly Fuck You.
Oh, yes.
Are you ready for the Fuck You?
I'm ready.
All right, on the count of three?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Fuck you, JetBlue. You JetBlue, when you came on the scene, you were kind of this kind of cool, kind of trying to,
you got the little television.
Nice, right, they had the TV.
They gave you a little snack.
Now, you said after January 6th, you were one of the companies that came out and said that you weren't going to give money to Republicans who voted to say that the election was stolen.
Yeah, what happened?
And then you did give money.
Did you
waited like
forget the
2 or
memo
3 weeks.
you sent out?
No, they didn't forget. All these corporations are doing the same shit. They're phonies about diversity and all the rest of the crap. They only care about money. So yes, when that first happened, everybody thought, whoa, this is pretty serious.
Yeah.
And now they realize that like everything else in the United States...
They think we forgot.
They think like we have short-term memory loss because of smoking so much weed.
Yes. No,
but
we remember.
That particular one, that's not going to go away like right away. That's not going to be able, you could change it. And JetBlue, why would you give money to these people? And then you're going to come out with all this bullshit like you care about diversity.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't care at all.
You're a big disappointment.
You're another company, and you know what? Even your service. The last time we flew, when we went to San Diego, we went on JetBlue. They had an aisle that was like 2 inches big. They had to take remember the tray? The person had a...
Yeah. And those people are so stressed working those jobs, you almost don't want to ask for shit.
Well, you're flying to San Diego in a plane that's like, it's a mile long.
Well, don't forget, it started out, they used to give you a pillow and a blanket. Now they charge you for that. Used to get a meal. Now they charge you for that.
They charge you for everything.
Every fucking thing.
So, JetBlue, fuck you. And a shout out, Ramsey Clark died this week, 93 years old. He was the former Attorney General in the United States, who actually came to see that the United States was full of shit.
Yes.
He's one of the few people that ever did that. Ramsey Clark went from being pro-war in the Vietnam War to becoming a major anti-war activist.
That's right.
He also defended Saddam Hussein. Believe it or not, when the United States illegally attacked another country when he had no weapons of mass destruction, he did nothing on 9/11.
Yes.
And when he went to trial, Ramsey Clark, very unpopular at that time, he took a lot of abuse for that.
I'm sure he did.
And he took a lot of abuse for some of his opinions about Israel. Yeah. But he was a true progressive. He never changed. He was a radical. So he drops dead, 93.
Did you read anything?
Yeah, the New York Times, they gave him a little bit of a thing, but very little. Very little.
Yes, yes.
But Ramsey Clark, Epstein and Hassan remember you. We remember that you were a great man.
That's
and
right.
you, unlike this pastor over here who dropped dead in panties while his wife was fucking some guy.
Who's going to hang for it.
You died, right. And you know what kind of guy Ramsey Clark is? He would defend that guy for free.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about him.
Yeah.
Now,
let's not forget.
Oh yeah, this is Buddy's. This is my son Buddy. This is his sister, and things are kind of rough for Heads right now because of all the. For many years, she worked as a in hair salons. She can do locks. She can do a weave. She can do a wig, right?
Yeah.
And she's looking for work. Buddy brought her in here. It is sibling week, and they love each other. So if anybody out there, Head is her name is Head, by the way.
She has a little bit of an attitude.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of an attitude. No, she's.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
She would be a hot wife,
Yeah.
although Buddy, they're not into that kind of shit.
No.
When heads have sex, it's straight ahead sex. They're not into kinky shit. So if anybody can help Head out, we would really appreciate it.
Yes.
And
So let's do it one more time.
To what?
Fuck you and a shout out to make it clear.
Fuck you, JetBlue. That rhymes. That's
Yes,
good. Fuck
yes,
you, JetBlue.
Yes.
And shout out to the great Ramsey Clark.
That's right.
And we're Epstein and Hassan, the Black and the Jew. And the
Yes.
Jackies will have something to say, I'm sure. So don't go away. Stick around.
Why would you want some other guy to fuck your wife?
That's insane, man.
I never heard of that. That's
Why
really...
the humans, they just think they have to find so many ways just to come.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They
Because
just can't do it in your mind. Just come.
usually, guys don't like when your wife fucks another guy.
Yeah, because the guy's usually going to be bigger, better,
You
younger.
heard about that penis comparison.
Yeah.
You notice Epstein got nervous about
I
that.
know, but who cares about a penis or a vagina? It's just skin.
You see, we don't have bodies, so we just
No.
come. We think of some shit,
And we come.
and we come. I don't know what the big
Not a
deal
big
is.
deal. You come and you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Plus, this guy, she gets a black guy to kill a white guy.
What is wrong, black guys? You don't do that for white women. You don't do it.
What's wrong with that guy?
God damn.
What the hell is wrong with him? She's gonna
Shit.
go to jail.
Oh,
and,
he's under the jail right now.
and she won't. Because
Oh, no.
they'll claim she was under some kind
Oh,
of...
he raped her.
Right, he raped her.
Oh, yeah.
Some
She's
kind
going
of
to claim they already
hypnosis.
got it.
Yeah, and I agree about JetBlue. They're not good anymore.
Fuck
They
JetBlue.
used to be good.
No.
That's fucked